Hello, Marissa. Welcome to Tanks Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development for today's items only. The investment going to talk today will be Theme Tiki Teach. First, I want to say happy Friday, everybody. Hope a great week so far. We're almost to the weekend. Respect to recording time of 8:56 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum current trend $4,503, down about 0.72% so far. On the overall crypto market, it's kind of just like treading water at the moment, right? Not really up a lot, not down a lot, but just sustaining at the consolidating level that we've been basically hovering around for basically weeks now, right? With respect to Bitcoin hovering around like the $60,000 mark, right? Currently trading at $61,583, up about 0.20% so far. While on the altcoins, selectively, XRP is down about 3%, polkadot's down about 3% as well. Seems like Shiba Inu, with respect to not my dog Finn, which I really appreciate you guys for giving my sister's channel a little love and support. She recently just started her YouTube channel called Sen and Cent, which I can show you guys right here. She's been just working really hard on it, on building a lot more interactive videos than the videos that I put together. My videos are typically very dry, and I'm just reading the news, but I really appreciate the love and support that you guys give me. But my sister's channel is more targeted towards like lifestyle, fashion. You see me in the video a little bit as well because I'm in her life too, but it's predominantly about her lifestyle, and with Finn and her boyfriend. So it's interesting. Feel free give a shout out. I'll link the channels, link at the at the description below and also in the comment section. So I just want to give a shout out to all the ones that subscribed to my sister's channel. You guys are amazing friends. I really want to show my gratitude and appreciation for your support. Just clicking the button, it means a lot to me already. So. And some people even comment on my sister's channel. I could see that it really inspires her and also excites her and motivates her to continue to be pushing, because it's difficult, as when you're making videos and you don't get as much traction that you're looking for. So me, with my little support, being able to guide her and help her is something that I'm happy to do so, and I'm glad that you guys are helping me on that journey for her as well. So let's go back into the news. So with respect to Shiba Inu, seems like it's rebounding right now, as expected. You could see that the reason we're bouncing right now is because of the level that we have before the massive escalation, surging from the basically 49.05 all the way to the all-time high, which is technically the 8.885. Right, and the reason that we're hovering right now is because this was the level of appetite that most of the whales and the public investors start chasing in, right? But that's a level that's not sustainable, right? Because we don't have any levitation level that can allow us to keep us here, right? We have to breach the gap that we formed, subsequently coming back down to below the 2796 ideally, right? But luckily, we are cooling down a little bit, the 53 out of 70, so it's not terrible. So we'll dive into the technicals in a bit, right? So with respect to Ethereum, there are a lot of news that happened this morning. I would say some of them are recurring regurgitation news. The first one's on Bazinga 11 hours ago, talk about Bitcoin to $253,800 and Ethereum to $22,300. Seems like a very specific technical levels that they identified. Kind of comparable to the depictions that we've heard yesterday from a CNBC analyst in our video yesterday. This is basically saying that if the history, per 2016 pump that we saw across the market, repeats itself, what will be the ideal and the comparable percentage level that will technically leap up to? And these are the levels that they have identified here. Not sure how likely this will happen within this year. Technically, we only have about 2 months left, right? But it could happen. But on the technical front, we know that we still overstretched despite some normalization from here, right? We're still all-time high right now. So how likely are we gonna be basically 400%, 500% from here? When we are already, relatively high, right? We basically leaped up from the 2,750 all the way to the current level in the basically last 1.5 months, right? Doubled, right? Do we see that happening again? I think a technical will say the opposite. In comparisons to the 22,300 level that Ethereum technically leap up to. But I wish that they're right. I hope they're right, but we know, right, based on what we've learned so far, that the technicals never lie to us, right? Even if RSI reach all the way to the 92 or 95, right, it still wouldn't demand the $22,000 level that they're talking about. That's just the fact, right? We have been reading this. We know the science and the psychology behind the market supply dynamics, that it just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm trying to say? So next one's on Cointelegraph. Talk about layer 2, a multi-chain DeFi platform set records inflow as Ethereum's fee soars. So this is great. Talk about with respect to, despite the high transaction fees, the inflow is still sustaining, which technically translates into more buying pressure, that the burn rates for Ethereum is higher than the cultivation or the mining rates of the Ethereum cultivation, right? So the next one's talking about with Bitcoin. 16 hours ago, talk about the total DeFi TVL jumps 25% in 2 weeks to 250 billion with Ethereum in the lead. So more, pseudo news around the ecosystem of Ethereum. Further bullish settlements, I would say. And then the next one is talking about with Bazinga again. Ethereum cools down in a bullish pattern to gather strength. I think what they mean in translation is basically we're consolidating, right? But in terms of like cools down to get a bullish pattern, I don't know what that really specifically means. We're still in a relatively bearish pattern because we're still overbought. We're still really stretched up on a MACD perspective. And we've been stretching up for the last how long now? A month and a half? So cooling down is the right thing to do. But in terms of a bullish pattern, I don't really see that at the moment. I think we might leap up because of more whale manipulations, and if the news are super positive, there people are going to be buying in. But ultimately, the monetary circulation needs to come from somewhere. So we have to see, right? But if we leap up, right, and let's say today's option expiry, the odds comes out to be in our favor based on the spread of the options, we could technically, leap up to like the 5,000, right? But again, that's a monumental flat level where we have never tested before. So that's something we have to be cautious about. That technically we could leap up to like the 4950, and then people start having sell order and sell us down from there. But if we break above 5,000, we gotta leap up way above 5,000 to keep going, right? And I think we could technically do that because RSI is still like at the upper echelon of overbought, but not like completely crazy overbought like the 92, right? It was still at the 64. So technically that could happen. Like we could reach above 5,000, which is not going to be surprising to us. We just have to keep an eye out on it. The next one's on MarketWatch. A major crypto exchange CEO is set on holding Shiba Inu crypto long term despite its recent tumble. Here's why. I think Shiba Inu is a good buy in the coming days, but not right now, right? Because of the fact that we're selling off. And I think the technical is just speaking the language that we've been speaking is coming down because it's supposed to. It's a causation effect, right? Right now, I think we still have some room to fall down to based on the technicals. We're still kind of leaning up like an upper echelon of overbought right now. So I would wait until the risk level is a little bit more confirmatory for us to incur some more risk. And the next one is on talk about Mark Cuban again. He's screaming that he's an Ethereum maxi, but not all layers one blockchain will survive. So he's basically talking about his point of view about Ethereum, why as a long-term value proposition makes sense for him to, have that stamp of approval. He obviously holds a lot of Ethereum in his holding company called Galaxy Digital Holdings. So he is incentivized to pump the market, obviously. So that's why he's so vocal about it. I wonder how much he's holding right now. And that's pretty much it on the news front. So let's just dive into the technicals real quick. So respect to Ethereum right now with the $4,506, down about 0.66%. We're still curving up on the whale back. You can see how long and elongated this whale is. This is the longest whale we've seen before. And we're at the 64 out of 70 right now. So we are at the non-substantive territory again, right? Hovering around the sideways fashion. So ideally coming back down to the more substantive level as the next identification would be 3845, 3475, 3150, right? Which are the levels that we've identified so far. And I think whatever goes up really, really fast comes down just as fast. So I would, the risk versus reward ratio is not the most favorable. So I would be incurring risk right now. I would say for me, my risk aversion is a little bit more conservative, so I would probably hold off for now. With respect to Bitcoin, we're still consolidating. It seems like we are forming some sort of like an upward wedge, right? I'm not crazy, right? It looks like we're forming some sort of an upward triangle. And when you see something like that, that's not really a good sign. I hope I'm wrong. Or it could be a downward wedge, depending on where you want to formulate. I think this could be... It's still up, like, kind of unknown right now. It's not the most prominent one, so I don't want to make, like, one binary decisions. But we are still kind of overbought this 56 out of 70. So I think ideally, because of the fact that we are sustaining above the 61,000, if we break the 61,000, we have some long way to go, right? Basically coming down to the 52, coming down to the 47 if we break that 50. But ideally for me, because I do hold a lot right now, and you do see this mega escalator gap that need to be filled, I'll probably wait until the RSI goes below 35 all over again for me to incur risk. Dogecoin right now is extremely bearish. You can see death crosses form 52 out of 70. So I think come back down to the 23 to 20 cents would be much more ideal. Cardano right now, it's I think it's percolating for a surge imminently. And you can see that we are forming a golden cross upward with the 44 out of 70, so not overbought. We're at the lower echelon of the oversold. So it's good that we are incurring some risk right now. I think we are at the verge of breaking the 2. As we break that $2, we're going to leap up from here, which is not a bad sign, I would say, collectively. And Solana is selling off because it needs to, because we are at this, despite reaching 250 as an all-time high at the 70 out of 70, it just makes sense as an indicator to take some profit around there, because if you watch the RSI, we know that there was an imbalance in the market that incentivizes a lot of investors to be selling, right? But technically, we could keep leaping up, right? Like 250 was because of a flat number, right? 250, 275, 300. Very logical, and we're forming a well back right now, so ideally selling back down to, like, again, right, to 133, 113 would be more logical for me in terms of conservatism. And then XRP is at the 60 out of 70, so we're still selling down, so basically contemplating, and you see that we have some weakness right now. I think ideally going back to the 110, 101, if we break that 110 would be more logical. Polkadots right now, we are... Man, polkadot's gonna be a bloody one. You can see a well back is formed. We are still overbought 68. Ideally buy at the 43 or somewhere around like 30 to 25 would be much more logical. Algorand's kind of a flat level right now, and I think ideally, because of the fact that the MACD line is still on top of the signal line, I will wait until it comes back down to 160 to 152 or 155 per the technicals. Shiba Inu, again, we have some room to fall down to. We just formed a death cross, so ideally coming back down to the 2828 to the basically 900 will be much more logical. Oh, sorry. So this is my sister's channel. I appreciate you guys for supporting again. I think her graphics and her thumbnails a lot more beautiful than mine. Mine are just very bland and monotone. But anyways, so these are the risk management levels to dollar cost average at. These are as we deplete the RSI back down to normal to below 35, and as we preliminarily cross the golden cross for that surge and that momentum for us to build up from there, right? There's no reason for you to feel FOMO because the market cycle goes through oscillation. It goes through up and down, up and down, up and down, right? And the perfect buying opportunity is at the lowest part of the valley, right? And these are basically the lowest point of the valley when you are seeing. This is when people are screaming like, oh my God, I'm losing all my money, when people are being extremely fearful, right? And that's the perfect opportunity for you to come in to buy it up when people are screaming, being scared, right? So hopefully this is helpful. Really appreciate you for dropping by again, and stay tuned for the come up. Take care.